Check out the private Discord server, guys. We already made some pretty awesome trades last week. 6 out of 6 wins, and several other traders are making bank. Check us out. But we got to talk about the Blackstone Mortgage Trust REIT. It seems like these guys are about to implode, and a lot of people are banking on some big short positions. So far, if you check out the Blackstone Mortgage REIT stock, prices haven't really fallen, right? It's still at $20 to $23. And what a lot of people want is it to drop 50% in value. And I think we could be seeing something very big. Because previously, a few weeks ago, Muddy Waters, the most infamous short seller on Wall Street, says 2024 could be a horrendous year for Blackstone. And they will be having a dividend cut by 50%, which will probably make a lot of its buyers run away. The thing about Blackstone Mortgage Trust is the dividend rate is 12 whopping percent. And when you have 6% or 7% dividends, and it's mostly commercial real estate, do you really think big investors are staying? Absolutely not. Now, what they're banking on is a massive collapse of the commercial real estate market, which is already happening. Check out Chicago. Guys, this building is in a pretty decent spot. It's not in the bad part of town. It's near the Loop. We're looking at 300 West Adams Street in Chicago, 12-story building. Look at how fat this building is. You got really nice ground floor retail space. You're at a corner lot, and you're basically taking like a whole entire block, pre-war, good bones, and who knows? 12 stories. It looks beautiful. Guess how much they sold for? $4 million. I can't believe it. I mean, $4 million. I remember it could only get you a 2-bed, 2-bath in Manhattan. $4 million could only get you guys a 3-bed in Singapore, or maybe like a nice 2-bed in Hong Kong's Peak. But never have I seen a whole entire building of this size literally sell for pennies on the dollar. We're looking at around maybe 200, 300,000 square footage of space selling for $4 million. And if you guys think commercial real estate is recovering, just look at this example. This isn't the first time where buildings are being sold for cheap, guys. You got a lot of other buildings in San Francisco, Seattle, and also Brooklyn selling for extremely cheap prices. In fact, commercial real estate is selling for 50% off most times, if not more. And this is why Muddy Waters is so incredibly short on the Blackstone Mortgage Trust REIT. And Muddy Waters, they do win a lot, right? And look at all these commercial real estates. It's so sad to see some of America's finest looking buildings. And some of these buildings stretch all the way back to like the early 1900s. They're all cheap. Nobody wants them. They're junk properties. In fact, people are so turned off by these buildings that not even banks want them. And a lot of times, these buildings are homeless. They don't have an owner. They don't have a bank. They're just sitting there empty with no tenant. And this is what's happening to many of the commercial properties in the U.S. Guys, if you know a loved one that's buying a commercial property, tell them to stop. Tell them to not do that. And by the way, we all know that meme crypto coins are pretty risky investments. But honestly, commercial real estate is probably worse than buying meme crypto, because at least meme crypto will actually go up to the moon, some of them. But in terms of commercial real estate, kiss your money goodbye if you own one of these. And like buildings like these, like this one, this 55 one, West Wacker Drive, this building has been on auction for like months at this point, and they still haven't sold it. In fact, they're so down bad, they gotta sell each floor one by one because there's no buyer that wants to buy the whole entire building, despite being a fantastic location in the Chicago Loop area. So this is why Muddy Waters is going all out. They feel like they could siphon billions of dollars from this REIT. And Blackstone Mortgage Trust, you get the idea. They own offices, a lot of them, malls. These are all very bad investments. I mean, residential real estate is already bad enough with many properties in luxury sectors like Beverly Hills, Bel Air, impossible to sell. But now you have situations where whole entire commercial properties are going foreclosed at extremely cheap prices. Yeah, Blackstone Mortgage Trust not really looking so good. And of course, you also have more news about the feds, right? Apparently, CPI numbers weren't really that great. CPI inflation numbers last month was 3.1. This month it came out 3.4. And that shows that inflation is going up. So some of the feds are coming out saying that they don't necessarily want to start cutting rates this year, which would actually cause many of these commercial real estate properties to tank like a rock. Interest rates are already high enough, right? Interest rates are so high that people don't want to buy any sort of property, let alone bad properties like offices. And for some reason, US companies are still building offices, which doesn't really make that much sense. So let's see what happens here. I think Blackstone has a really big chance of imploding, guys. And Muddy Waters may be raking in the cash.